Hello, welcome to FiddleHed Fiddle Lessons. We're going to now do the tune Delta Momma Blues by Townes Van Sandt. And we're going to learn a version of the song by Hurray for the Riff, Raff, because it's got a great fiddle part that I love a lot. And so this lesson is part of a bigger series of lessons on how to play on songs with the fiddle. What do you do when your friend says, "Let's jam"? You know, and you're like scratching your head. So I'm basically with this series of videos trying to offer you a series of suggestions on how you can practice and things you can do to sort of get geared up to play on a song. And one really just basic good idea is to learn fiddle parts on songs you like. If you like the fiddle part and you like the song, both things help. So anyway, that's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to learn this, and I'm going to just play it for you once, just like I would with any other fiddle tune. I'm going to play the whole thing and then break it down part by part, note by note. So here we go. That's it. Now that's the first break that happens in the tune, first little solo. There's a middle one which kind of uses that, and then kind of goes, it's kind of very similar, but then it goes off a little bit more, and then there's a final one too. They're all sort of got some recycled ideas, and I actually really like that about them. So anyway, we're going to start by doing the first quarter. I'm going to play the whole thing without any double stops. And then we'll add the double stops back in. Alright, so it starts D low 1 sliding into 1. And then we're going to go open 1 3 after that. So far we have 2 3. And then we're going to do 3 4 3, and that completes this first quarter. And so the double stops are actually not that hard. It's just a little bit of a droning double stop in the beginning. So we're droning open G. And you could kind of drone the whole time, or let it, or leave it earlier. Like you could drone G all throughout that, or kind of just do it in the first couple notes. And then 3 4 3. All right. So here's that part one more time. All right. So you may want to just either pause and practice that on your own. Let's just loop on it a little bit together right now. All right, let's move on, and they're in the second quarter. Alright, so it's D low 2 3 times in a row, and then 1 and back to low 2 twice. Here it is again. Then we're going to go open A, low 2, open A, and then D 3 1. Here's that again. Okay, so this whole second chord, the part before was then. Let's put it all together. Alright, so now let's look at what double stops are happening. If you're new to double stops, I recommend ignoring this part. You can still do the lesson, but You may want to just first work on double stops with open strings. But if you do know double stops, let's just dive into it. So for that D low 2, we're going to hold down G1. And for those of you keeping score at home, that forms an F chord. Alright, and then now what we're going to do, instead of going low 2 to 1, we're going to just take this chord pattern and just slide it down and back up. Isn't that cool? Let's try it again. Alright, here's again. I recommend pausing the video and practicing it a little bit right now. Here it is again. And then we add the next part, there's no double stops. Or you could add some, you could drone the G at the end if you want. So anyway, the whole second quarter again. Let's move on to the third quarter. So again, we're not doing it with double stops at first, and it's going to go open D to A1, and then add D3. Here's that phrase. Then 3, 4, 3. Here's again, all that put together. Good. And now add double stops, add open G. For that first note, add droning G. And then when we go to A1, add open D. So we have, and then add D3. Again. That part. But just a nice down home sound. You can, if you have practiced sliding, you can do sliding on that A1. If you haven't learned sliding yet, I recommend holding off, or if you do want to do it, just sit there and focus on it a whole lot. The problem with it, if you rush into doing sliding and you're still a beginner, is that it throws off your tuning and you sort of just end up playing flat or sharp a lot. And so you got to be careful with when you learn sliding. You know, you want to be very grounded with your scales and know lots of tunes before attempting sliding. All right, now let's just do the fourth quarter. So that's D1 twice, and then open 1, 3. This part is a lot like the beginning of the tune, the first quarter, but it's a little different. All right, and then after that, 3, 4, 3, 1, open. So the whole fourth quarter, single stops. And we can just add a double stop at the beginning, droning open G. And then I would just play singles here. Maybe you can add back the droning G on the end last two notes. 1, open. So yeah. Alright, so I am now going to just play this entire little solo that happens at the beginning of Delta Momma Blues. I'm going to play it a little slower. Feel free to play along or just listen and maybe then rewind and do it again. In fact, if any part you're struggling with still, this is the time to pause the video, rewind, and practice the different parts. And by the way, thanks for putting up with all the silly little animated movies and stuff that are reminding you. It always feels like Sesame Street when I watch it. But I think it's really important, and I think a lot of students rush through a lot of things, and you just have to take your time and play one thing, one little piece a whole lot. And so I'm encouraging you to do that. Instead of just launching into the whole tune, it'll ultimately be more satisfying if you play one little phrase really well, and it often opens up the rest of the tune if you take that approach. All right, here we go. I'm gonna play the whole thing very slowly. And that's it. Well, I hope that was useful. Let me know how it goes. Let me know if there's some song you want to learn or some other idea you have for playing on songs that's helpful to other people. And cool. See you next time on FiddleHed Fiddle Channel. So long. Thanks for watching the video. Excellent.